Jamaica, a name synonymous with sun-drenched beaches, reggae rhythms, and vibrant culture. But beneath this paradise lies a history of struggle and resilience. This is the story of the Jamaican Maroons, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. From the Spanish conquest to the rise of the Maroons, Jamaica became a battleground for freedom. The Jamaican Maroons were a tapestry of different bands, united by a common enemy and a shared yearning for freedom. The first Maroons likely escaped during the English conquest of Jamaica in 1655. They created hidden settlements in the Blue Mountains and Cockpit country, becoming masters of guerrilla warfare. Their communities, bound by a shared African heritage, preserved their traditions and thrived. The Maroons' raids on plantations were acts of defiance, inspiring others to join their cause. The struggle between the Jamaican Maroons and the British spanned decades. The First Maroon War, led by Nanny of the Maroons, saw the Maroons fight the British to a standstill. Using guerrilla tactics, the Maroons inflicted heavy losses on the British. The war ended in a stalemate, with treaties granting the Maroons land and autonomy. These treaties, though acknowledging the Maroons' independence, created future discord. The peace following the treaties was uneasy, with the Maroons remaining a thorn in the side of the colonial authorities. The Maroons were divided into several distinct bands, each with its own leaders and territories. Despite internal divisions and British threats, the Maroon communities flourished. They developed their own systems of governance, blending African traditions with their new environment. The Maroon communities became a beacon of hope for those still enslaved. The story of the Jamaican Maroons is linked to the transatlantic slave trade. The early Maroons were primarily composed of those who escaped from Spanish-owned plantations. When the English captured Jamaica in 1655, many Maroons saw an opportunity to solidify their freedom. The Maroons' raids on plantations were acts of defiance, striking back at the system that enslaved their people. The British realized that the Maroons represented a dangerous precedent, leading to a protracted struggle. No figure looms larger in Maroon history than Nanny of the Maroons. Born in Africa, Nanny was transported to Jamaica as a slave but refused to submit. She escaped to the Blue Mountains, where her exceptional skills marked her for greatness. Nanny's leadership was instrumental in the First Maroon War, leading daring raids against the British. Nanny's legacy extends beyond the battlefield, preserving Maroon culture and traditions. The treaties with the British in the early 1740s marked a turning point for the Maroons. The treaties granted the Maroons land, self-governance, and freedom from interference. However, the Maroons were required to cease harboring runaway slaves and assist the British in capturing them. Despite the compromises, the Maroon communities continued to thrive, maintaining their distinct cultural identity. The stage was set for further conflict, testing the limits of the uneasy peace. Welcome to Travel with me. Please like and subscribe. The uneasy truce between the British and the Maroons was destined to be tested. In 1795, the Second Maroon War ignited, altering the relationship between the Maroons and the colonial authorities. The Maroons resented the obligation to return runaway slaves, viewing it as a betrayal. The British feared the Maroons' potential to incite rebellion among the enslaved population. A minor incident in Trelawney Town sparked the flames of war, leading to a protracted conflict. The flogging incident in Trelawney Town was the spark, but the tinder had been laid long before. The Maroons, sensing the British were looking for any excuse to undermine their autonomy, had been preparing for war. In August of 1795, the Second Maroon War erupted. Under Colonel Montague James, the Maroons launched surprise attacks on British outposts. They utilized their superior knowledge of the island to ambush British patrols. The British, caught off guard, found themselves on the defensive. The war was brutal, marked by atrocities on both sides. The British resorted to scorched earth tactics, burning villages and crops. As the war dragged on, the tide turned in favor of the British. Reinforcements, including seasoned troops from England, arrived. They also employed bloodhounds to track and kill Maroons. The Second Maroon War was a pivotal moment in Jamaican history, a clash of wills between two determined adversaries. The Maroons, fighting for their freedom, faced the British Empire, determined to maintain its grip on the Caribbean. Despite their bravery, the Maroons were fighting a losing battle. The British, with superior resources, gradually wore down the Maroons' resistance. The use of bloodhounds disrupted the Maroons' supply lines. In December 1795, the Leeward Maroons agreed to a truce. They surrendered their weapons and agreed to be deported from Jamaica. The deportation of the Leeward Maroons in 1796 marked the end of an era in Jamaican history. Over 500 Maroons were shipped to Nova Scotia, their lives forever altered by displacement. The Second Maroon War stands as a testament to the enduring human spirit and the unyielding desire for freedom. The Maroons' legacy is etched in Jamaican history, folklore, and collective memory. The peace that descended upon Jamaica following the Second Maroon War was fragile and uneasy. The deportation of the Leeward Maroons to Nova Scotia cast a long shadow over the island. For the remaining Maroon communities, the treaties represented a decisive shift in their relationship with the colonial authorities. The terms of these new treaties, signed in 1796, were far more restrictive. Gone were the days of relative autonomy and self-governance. The Maroons were no longer seen as independent allies, but as subjects of the British Crown. Their movements were restricted, their actions scrutinized. The most bitter pill was their obligation to capture and return runaway slaves. This stipulation became a central tenet of their new relationship with the British. They were tasked with patrolling the borders of their shrinking territories. The imposition of this duty cut deep into the heart of Maroon identity. They were now compelled to participate in the very system they abhorred. The new treaties, while ostensibly aimed at bringing a lasting peace to Jamaica, contained within them the seeds of future discord. The ink was barely dry on the parchment before disputes arose, misunderstandings festered, and the fragile trust between the Maroons and the British began to unravel. The fault lines were numerous, running deep through the bedrock of their uneasy relationship. One major point of contention was the issue of land. The treaties stipulated that the Maroons would retain control over certain designated territories. But these areas were significantly smaller than the lands they had once roamed freely. The boundaries were often ill-defined, marked on maps drawn by British cartographers who had little understanding of the intricate geography of the island's interior. This ambiguity led to frequent encroachments by settlers, eager to expand their plantations and exploit the island's resources, further fueling tensions between the two communities. Moreover, the presence of British superintendents appointed to oversee the Maroon communities and ensure their compliance with the treaty obligations became a constant source of irritation. These officials, often arrogant and overbearing, viewed the Maroons with suspicion, their actions tinged with a thinly veiled racism. They interfered in internal affairs, imposed restrictions on traditional practices, and generally acted as agents of colonial control, undermining the Maroons' limited autonomy and fueling resentment. The Maroons, for their part, chafed under these restrictions, their pride wounded by their diminished status. They resented the constant surveillance, the erosion of their traditions, and the limitations placed upon their freedom. The seeds of defiance, though temporarily dormant, awaited the opportunity to sprout anew. Section 3, the chains of obligation Maroons and the fugitive dilemma. The Maroons' role in capturing and returning runaway slaves was morally fraught. This obligation forced them to betray their history and compromise their principles. They became instruments of the system they had fought to dismantle. This duty weighed heavily on their conscience. Some viewed it as a necessary evil to preserve their communities. Cooperation was seen as the only viable path to survival. Others saw it as a betrayal of their ancestors. This conflict led to acts of quiet resistance. Some secretly aided runaways, guiding them through mountain passes. These acts of defiance were a testament to their enduring spirit of solidarity. Section 4, Between Two Worlds, Maroon Autonomy and the Shadow of Empire. The decades following the Second Maroon War were transformative for the Jamaican Maroons. They navigated between autonomy and colonial control, no longer fully free nor entirely enslaved. Their existence was a delicate balance. They displayed resilience and adaptability, maintaining cultural traditions and practices, practicing unique agriculture and skills, honoring ancestors and collective memory, developing sophisticated governance systems, demonstrating self-rule within colonial confines, their spirit unbroken, dreams of self-determination alive. The enduring spirit of Maroon culture. The Jamaican Maroons, though isolated, were never cut off from their African roots. Their ancestors' memories shaped their culture and beliefs. These seeds found expression in a vibrant tapestry of Maroon culture. One enduring aspect was their language, Cromanti. A blend of TWI and other West African languages, it symbolized their heritage. Their traditional knowledge included agriculture, hunting, and music. Tapestry of traditions, music, dance, and the rhythms of freedom. Music and dance were integral parts of Maroon culture, serving not just as forms of entertainment, but also as powerful expressions of their history, spirituality, and collective identity. The rhythms of the drums, the melodies of the songs, and the movements of the dances carried within them the echoes of their African heritage, the stories of their struggles, and their unwavering hope for a better future. The most iconic instrument in Maroon music is the abeng, a side-blown horn made from a cow's horn. Originally used as a signaling device during wartime, the abeng evolved into a versatile musical instrument. Its deep, resonant tones capable of conveying a wide range of emotions and messages. The abeng was more than just a musical instrument, it was a symbol of Maroon resistance, a call to unity, and a powerful reminder of their history. Alongside the abeng, the Maroons employed a variety of other instruments, including drums of various sizes and shapes, rattles, shakers, and the lamellophone, a thumb piano-like instrument. These instruments, often crafted from natural materials found in their surroundings, produced a rich and complex soundscape, their rhythms pulsing with the energy of their African roots. Maroon dances were equally expressive, often incorporating intricate footwork, synchronized movements, and call and response patterns. These dances served a variety of purposes, from celebrating harvests and honoring ancestors to preparing for war and recounting historical events. They were a vital part of Maroon's social life, bringing communities together, reinforcing their shared identity and transmitting cultural knowledge from one generation to the next. Guardians of knowledge, herbal law, and the healing power of nature. Living in close harmony with the natural world, the Jamaican Maroons developed a profound understanding of the healing properties of plants. Their knowledge of herbal medicine, passed down through generations of careful observation and experimentation, was essential to their survival in the island's rugged interior. They identified and utilized a vast pharmacopoeia of medicinal plants, their skills in herbalism rivaling those of the most skilled European physicians of the time. The Maroons' knowledge of herbal medicine extended far beyond simply treating illnesses. They used plants for a wide range of purposes, including promoting good health, increasing strength and stamina, warding off evil spirits, and enhancing their spiritual connection to the natural world. Their understanding of the interconnectedness of all living things was reflected in their holistic approach to health and well-being. One of the most renowned Maroon herbal remedies was a potent tonic made from the bark of the Jamaican dogwood tree. This tonic, known for its analgesic and sedative properties, was used to treat a variety of ailments, including pain, fever, inflammation, and insomnia. It was so effective that it eventually found its way into Western medicine, where it is still used today as a surgical anesthetic. The Maroons' knowledge of herbal medicine was not just a practical necessity, it was also deeply intertwined with their spiritual beliefs. They believed that plants possess spirits, and they treated them with respect and reverence. Healers were highly respected figures in Maroon communities, their knowledge passed down through lineages, their skills often attributed to divine guidance. A legacy of resistance, a future of pride, the Maroons in modern Jamaica. The legacy of the Jamaican Maroons continues to resonate in modern Jamaica, their story a source of both pride and inspiration for a nation that has long struggled for freedom and self-determination. Their fight for independence, their vibrant culture, and their enduring spirit of resilience are woven into the fabric of Jamaican identity. Today, the descendants of the Maroons continue to live in their ancestral territories, their communities a testament to their ancestors' courage and determination. They have preserved many of their traditions, including their language, music, dance, and herbal practices, sharing them with the wider world through cultural events, festivals, and educational programs. The Jamaican government has taken steps to recognize and honor the contributions of the Maroons to the nation's history. Nanny of the Maroons, the legendary Maroon leader who played a pivotal role in the First Maroon War, is considered a national hero, her image appearing on the Jamaican $500 bill. The Accompong Maroons, who inhabit a semi-autonomous region in the Cockpit country, celebrate their independence annually on January 6th, commemorating the signing of their treaty with the British in 1739. The Maroons' story is not just a historical footnote, it is a living testament to the power of resistance, the importance of cultural preservation, and the enduring human spirit. Their legacy continues to inspire generations of Jamaicans and people around the world, reminding us that even in the face of oppression, freedom is worth fighting for, and cultural identity is a precious treasure worth preserving. Unbroken spirit. The story of the Jamaican Maroons is a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. It's a story of resistance against seemingly insurmountable odds, a fight for freedom in the face of brutal oppression. These men and women, ripped from their African homelands and cast into the abyss of slavery, refused to be broken. They forged a new path in the rugged, unforgiving interior of Jamaica, creating a society where freedom wasn't just a dream but a living reality. Their legacy resonates deeply in Jamaica today, a source of national pride. From the echoes of the Abeng to the vibrant traditions that have survived centuries, the Maroons' presence is woven into the very fabric of Jamaican culture. Their story is a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of resilience, and a reminder that the fight for freedom transcends time. The Maroons' story is not just about the past, it holds profound lessons for the present and the future. Their struggle for autonomy, their preservation of cultural identity, and their unwavering commitment to self-determination serve as a beacon for oppressed people everywhere. The echoes of their resistance remind us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles, the human spirit yearns for freedom, and that the fight for justice and equality is a torch that must be carried forward by each generation. Their story is a call to remember, a call to action, and a call to celebrate the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome adversity and forge a path towards a more just and equitable world. The Maroons' legacy is not just theirs to bear. It belongs to all of us who dare to dream of a world where freedom reigns supreme.